Everybody, I want to welcome Jeff Washington to the call tonight. Every other Tuesday, ECMD Experience, the award-winning ECMD Experience, but you can't put that in writing because if you put that in writing on a post, award-winning, it'll go to your spam because that's the word award is.
Mm. I lost you.
Yeah, I had to put myself on mute because I'm on two computers and it was spilling over. Also, I had to mute the video that's on YouTube because it'll play while the other one's playing.
Anyway,
Anyway,
I got you.
okay, like I said, welcome to the call. The wonderful, magnificent Jeff Washington. I'm going to read his bio. I'm read his bio first. First of all, his booking contact. If you look at the video, it'll even be on this video when it's finished on YouTube tonight. It'll be on the bottom of this video too when I redo it. But it'll have his booking contact, which is Virgil MGT 57 at Yahoo. That's Virgil VIRGIL. MGT as in Virgil Management, but Virgil MGT 57 at Yahoo. His Instagram is Jeff_Washington_music. His Facebook is Jeff.Washington2. Hailing from New York City and now a longtime resident of Philadelphia, Jeff Washington is a dynamic force in the world of blues and beyond. With a career forged through years of dedication, he's a true triple threat, an exceptional guitarist, a compelling vocalist, prolific songwriter. Jeff's masterful guitar work effortlessly navigates a diverse musical landscape, showcasing his prowess in funk, blues, jazz, rock, and R&B. His talents extend to keyboards and songwriting, creating a truly dynamic package that's evident in every performance. He honed his formidable guitar technique and theory under the tutelage of legendary guru Dennis Sandole, whose esteemed alumni also include Pat Martino and Mike Sembello. His extreme resume speaks volumes, boasting concert and tour appearances with impressive roster of iconic artists such as the magnificent Melba Moore, Albert King, Shaka Khan, Freddie Jackson, Mary Wells, Dee Dee Bridgewater, among many others. Jeff has also graced national television screens with appearances on shows like All My Children, One Life to Live, Showtime at the Apollo, The Pat Sajak Show, David Letterman, and the Arsenio Hall Show. His musical contributions further extend to the silver screen with songs featured in independent film, The Life and Times of Charlie Putz. Most recently, Jeff Washington continues to captivate audiences with his latest single, $2 Bill, further solidifying his place in vital contemporary blues artists. And if you want to be interviewed like Jeff, the information at the bottom of the screen. You text Kermit at 216-276-1829 to set up your exclusive interview, the ECMD Experience. Jeff, how you doing today?
I'm good, my brother. How are you? Thanks for having me. I appreciate it, man. Great to meet
like I
you.
say, your people and I, we've been knowing each other for over 30 years.
Yeah, that's what Don was telling me. Don was saying you wanted good brothers out there, and asked me if I wanted to do it. And I said, if you say he's good, is good man, I'm down. So here we are.
Yep, I have been working with Don since, we actually started working strong with him in 1985 when Freddie Jackson hit the charts with You Are My Lady and
oh yeah. Don was he was young then. I was because Freddie and I used to sing background for Melba Moore when that record broke. We were on tour at Melba, and when that record broke, then because it was Freddie, me, another great songwriter named Janice Dempsey, and we were singing background. I played guitar and sang background, and they sang background. So then when Freddie's record came out, "Rock Me Tonight," I believe that was the first one. We were down in Texas, in Dallas, playing, and and it came off real hot. So he would do those songs during the show, and we hired another background singer to take his place, so he could do his thing. But Freddie and I go back a long time down. We used to have a ball back in the day, man. It's like with the band, and it was so great playing with Melba and meeting so many great people through her, you know.
Yeah, the interesting thing about the Rock Me Tonight record, when he started off, was that, of course, Rock Me Tonight hit it big in the R&B segment, right? You know, and a lot of people like, oh, that's his biggest hit. Then later on, as I'm doing research, I'm like, wait a minute, that wasn't the biggest hit. It was "You Are My Lady." Why? Because Rock Me Tonight was, of course, huge everywhere, but "You Are My Lady" crossed over big time. So while Rock Me Tonight just went gold originally, "You Are My Lady" immediately went platinum. So that was like, the people don't understand the difference. Like, just because you in your city hearing the radio, hearing a song on the radio every 15 minutes or whatever, you don't know what's going on everywhere else.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
With a song like "Rock Me Tonight," of course, everywhere R&B people are, you're going to hear it. But then when "You Are My Lady," with a certain sound and the crossover sound, it's going to be on more areas and more stations.
Well, when "Rock Me Tonight" came out, it was funny because they advertised it as the "Rock Me Tonight" tour, Freddie Jackson, and that was only the song he was singing. I don't think "You Are My Lady" was even out then. It was only the one song he sang. We were doing that last tour at Melba, the last tour I did with her. That was, and I think that was her hit was "Read My Lips" at that time, or that album. I think Kashif had done it, or produced it. That was, then the "You Are My Lady" came out after that, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
It was great. I just actually talked to Freddie a couple of weeks ago. He was on Facebook Live, and I popped up in there. We just bust out laughing. Every time I see him, we just laugh the whole time. You know, great cat. Miss playing. Miss you, Freddie, if you see this. Anyway.
Yeah, I'll make sure you see it.
Hey, there you go.
But what's interesting is that, okay, tell us where you're from, first of all.
Well, I was born in New York City, as you said earlier, in Harlem, and I was raised in Northeast Philly, and that's where I learned a lot of my playing there. Really crazy growing up there. He had little black sections there in Northeast, and there were so mainly you would have blues, and because that's the only thing you could really do guitar solos off of. So I integrated a lot of these clubs up there because they weren't having no brothers playing the places I was playing. I joined this band, Edgar Murray, and we did everything from blues to Jeff Beck to Led Zeppelin to Stevie Wonder, and I was the only brother in the band. Some of the clubs wouldn't hire the band because of me, but we had such a big following, they had to succumb to it. So I integrated a lot of things up there, playing baseball, Little League baseball. I was the only one on the team, black on the team. Would get called all these names, man, I never even heard of, man. You know what I mean? Because I wasn't raised around. The white folks that I was raised around, everybody knew each other, so I never had a problem with that, until later, as I got older. But so I did a lot of gigs in Philly and playing local clubs and integrating, as I say. And then in 2001, my mother is originally from down in Maryland, and she moved down here after she retired and had a house built. It was all her family's from. She passed in 2001, so I've been down here since then. I actually been trying to move since then, but I have my studio here. I ride my motorcycle, and it's just I'm not going back to the city. Got 3 acres, so I'm a country gentleman now,
You say other people in your family was involved in the industry?
No, I'm the only one, really.
Okay.
I have one cousin, call him Washboard Chaz. He was from New York City, and he lived in New Orleans. And the HBO show Treme, I don't know if you ever heard of that show. Really good show. It was on HBO about New Orleans and all the musicians there. And he had a couple roles in that, a couple parts in that. So he plays like Cajun music, but that's the only person, yeah, pretty much. I'm the only one besides him.
Do you agree that New Orleans is the birthplace for jazz, as far as the United States anyway?
Yeah, I would say jazz is jazz is a baby of the blues, because it all came from the blues. As much as people don't want to admit, country music, all that came from the blues. And it's like in a movie, we brought the blues over with us, So people singing in the fields and all that had that rhythm and that cadence. And that's what started the blues down in Clarksdale. And jazz from New Orleans evolved from the blues, W.C. Handy, I think, he brought that vibe to New Orleans, I do believe, if I remember. But yeah, I would say definitely, yeah. New Orleans, Kansas City, jazz too, but I would, that's a good question, but I would say New Orleans.
What's interesting about music in general and people like Bo Diddley and different ones from way back in the day? I've noticed, now this is just my observation, don't mean that this can't be nobody else's observation, but I just basically noticed that the people like the Rolling Stones and people from the UK especially, or overseas, they really recognize the people that did, like that kind of started things in the industry, and whatever rock became or whatever. I even remember I was sitting in front of my TV in elementary school when the Beatles came to town. It was on the A.S. Sullivan show. And believe it or not, even though the girls were going crazy, I liked the music too. I was bopping my head, and that's not something I would normally hear. So I'm saying to say that they're just going to show you good music can cross borders because it's good music. And it's a good sound, and it's something that's active at that time. Just like I was checking out some of your songs, and like that Mr. Beck, I mean, just sitting there listening to it, it's just, even though you're not saying as much as you're saying on $2 bill, but it's still like powerful,
Okay, thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah, it's one of my best songs I've written. I haven't I written some instrumentals, because I dabble in jazz and fusion and a little bit of everything. Just started getting into the blues more or less, but bring you to the Beatles. If it wasn't for the English people, half of these people in this country wouldn't know what blues is, because it wasn't being played anywhere. And it was being faked by other people. They said the first rock song was Rocket 88 by Bill Haley, but they don't realize Ike Turner wrote that song and performed it and recorded it 4 years before that, and not getting the credit. Ike Turner was very big in the blues, very big in rock. It wasn't just, and Tina Turner was Love Got to Do It. He had a lot of stuff going on. Big Mama Thornton did Hound Dog. Hound Dog was written by two Jewish guys, but it was a country song. Big Mama Thornton turned it into what it was. Elvis copied that and sang it, and they think Elvis created rock and roll, which it didn't. And none of the English groups, if you notice, none of them have done Elvis songs, not one. They've all done, nobody's done that. They don't even mention the Beatles. Didn't even mention him. They told you who it was. Rolling Stones told you who was their influence. They named themselves after Muddy Waters. James Brown. Mick Jagger even produced the James Brown biopic with Chadwick Boseman. He even produced that. And he had a lot of English bands, blues cats, So when Jimi Hendrix went over there, he's bringing the real blues over there, a black man playing real American blues, and turned a lot of things around, But I think, like I said, I was a Beatles fan too. I was the only black Beatle, I think, on earth at that time. I had the Beatle coat and the hair and all that kind of thing.
Yeah, I didn't go that far.
Oh yeah, man. I was crazy because I would see the brothers walking past. That's the first time I saw ventriloquism, I would say. Because the brothers would be walking past me like, the hell's wrong with that? That kind of thing. What's he wearing, man? What's he got on, And they influenced me a lot. I mean, that's what got me into playing guitar. Wanting to play guitar. I didn't know about the business. I just wanted to play guitar and have women following me and screaming. That's what I wanted, that kind of thing, that pipe dream whatsoever. But yeah, I agree with you. I mean, but if it wasn't, like I said, if it wasn't for, well, of course, in Clarksdale and Chicago and Kansas City, Alabama, the blues was kicking, and it's like my man said that, everybody loved the blues, but they didn't like the people who created it, So,
well, what's interesting is that now that we have social media and YouTube and people pulling up old videos and putting it where people, like if you were not living at the time it happened, like I saw a Little Richard video where he was talking about all the people he got started. You know, that when he was over, I think when he was in Europe, he was talking about different people that opened up shows for him and stuff. And I was like, wow, that's really amazing, you know.
The Beatles opened up for him. Yeah, the Beatles opened up for him a couple times, and they told you about it, you know. And that's where they got the from, you know, from Little Richard. And when Paul McCartney, when the Beatles first came over here to tour, they were offended the way they were treating Black people over here, and they put it in their contract that they wouldn't play for segregated audiences. So I give it to them for that, you know.
Right.
Even though England wasn't kicking it either, but it wasn't as bad as it was over here for Black people, you know.
Well, speaking of England, I was a part of this program called DECA, DECCA, back in high school, and we would go in my junior and senior year. We went overseas, you know, as part of that during the Easter vacation. Anyway, so when I was in England, I'm thinking about, you know, like I'm not used to seeing all these people or whatever. I'm from a small city, East Cleveland, Ohio. But anyway, when I thought that people may be prejudiced, they were not prejudiced in England. What they were, the problem was they did not have a problem with my skin color at all. The problem they had was that I was American and not, you know, from the UK. So it was like if there was any prejudice, it's because you're from the United States. And I also had that problem in Jamaica too, believe it or not. But you know, it's weird when I'm expecting, you know, I'm from Mississippi, you know what I'm saying? So I grew up doing the, you know, civil rights movement, Mississippi,
you're from
all kinds of crazy stuff going
Mississippi?
on.
Yeah, I'm sorry, you said you're from Mississippi?
Yeah.
What part?
I was born in Meridian and my family's in Jackson now.
Okay, yeah. I did some gigs in Meridian and Jackson, actually. I met Rosa Parks in Jackson. I played with Melba Moore, Rosa Parks and Medgar Evers' wife was there backstage. That was interesting. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it's just so odd that I'm used to people, you know, prejudice about your color. I'm not used to somebody, no, you're from the United States. What? I'm from the United States, so that's why you're gonna say something negative about me or attack me. That was just weird, man, especially for a kid, you know, 15, 16 years old. That was just a lot to absorb. But one thing it did do, it gave me an international perspective on the world. But there's more than just my community. There's other things out here in this world, not just even in the United States, but in the world. So I was definitely, you know, fortunate that happened. You know, a lot of people don't understand international; they just understand their neighborhood. Or even when people are trying to be a musician, or singer, or rapper, some people just want to be the biggest person on their street, or biggest person in their city, or whatever, or United States. You know, my thing is I like dealing with international people. You know, just like we interviewed Bootsy Collins recently too, and his manager. And that one interesting thing, you know, that I had forgot about. I forgot he played with James Brown. I know he played with George Clinton and all of that, Parliament Funkadelic. But I forgot he was there with James Brown.
Oh yeah, that's what got him started. I mean, they had the band together, him and his brother Catfish.
Yeah, Catfish.
And when James fired the band, he fired his band because Fred Westland had wanted more money. And James fired them, and he said, "Call that boy Bootsy up, man. Get them out of here." And they called all the cats up, and they came and played with him that night or the night after. And there's videos of Bootsy playing, him and his brother playing with Sex Machine, because that's when Sex Machine first came out. Bootsy is playing bass on that, of course. And he stole that video. Cracks me up. I love that video. I mean, that was...
Yeah, I actually saw it on his website. I actually saw it on Bootsy Collins' website, the one about James Brown. Like I said, I didn't even remember that. But I definitely remember Catfish, you know, because that's an unusual name, you know, for an artist, you know, nickname. And I remembered him, you know, back in the day when Parliament Funkadelic and stuff was hot, you know, stuff like that. But back to blues, who did you look up to in blues and jazz yourself coming into the game?
Well, back in the day, like I said, he's saying mainly white guys. White guys is this guy Jim Mahoney. He's passed now. He would have got a gig with the Rolling Stones, but he got the wrong date for the audition. That's how good this cat was. And he taught me a lot of things and listened to a lot of blues. He played slide and all that. So I learned a lot from him. But we used to jam on a lot of blues artists because that's, like I said, you had guitar soloing. So that's where you got your craft from, you know, playing blues solos. So I would say B.B. King, Back in the day when I was younger, Hendrix, I saw Hendrix. I didn't know who he was. My cousins came back from Vietnam, and I was like 14 maybe, and went to this place called the Electric Factory in Philly. And I was playing bass then. And at that time, I would come down here during the summer. It's like 67. And a big thing was Funky Broadway, Satisfaction, Rolling Stones, and I Want to Testify by the original Parliaments. And I can only play those 3 songs on bass, you know. So I went to see Hendrix, and I'm like, what is going on? I'm just looking at these amps and big amps and guitar, and I'm looking at these hippies. I'm like, what is going on here? I didn't know what the hell. I didn't know, you know, it just took me, I was in another world, you know. And so I was into him and Cream because of Eric Clapton playing guitar at the time. I later got into Jeff Beck. And just always listened to blues and different things. Studied a little bit of theory and all that with Dennis Sandole, like I said. And I would listen to John McLaughlin and you know, Chick Corea and those kind of people. And I went to, it was funny because I was working at this Clover, which is the department store in Philly. And this friend of mine, Lee Light, worked for Electric Factory, was a big promoters in Philly. And Dee Dee Bridgewater was at the Bijou, opened up for Billy Eckstine, and her guitar player was sick. So she called me up and said, well, Dee Dee's down at the Bijou, needs a guitar player. You want to do the gig? I'm like, okay. And so I went and got her album and listened to the album. And Stanley Clarke had produced this album at that time. And so went and did 2 shows, and then she sent the other guitar player back to LA, and I'm on the road like that. So we were playing with Stanley Clarke, and his guitarist was Ray Gomez then at that time. And so we're playing at the Bottom Line up in New York and opening up for Albert King. And he needed a guitar player, a backup guitarist. So his roadie said, you want to back up Albert King? I'm like, wow, that's all I've learned off of Albert King playing. So next thing I know, I'm playing behind Albert King doing 2 shows, you know. And really, really nice man. He says, go ahead, young blood, and take one. I was scared to death at that time. But he offered me to take a solo or whatever, you know, as good or bad as it was. But so I would say, you know, all the Kings, Freddie King, Albert King, well, I mean, who else? Albert Collins, all those cats, man, you know.
When you were in elementary school, junior high school, or whatever, did they have band and orchestra and stuff there? And did you participate?
No, I was a gymnast in high school. That's what I did. I had a scholarship for gymnastics, and I just started playing guitar maybe in '69, and I was playing bass before that, as I said before. So in the gym team, we had a band. We're all the gymnasts. One of the guys was a drummer, another guy played keyboards. Everybody's all buff and playing, you know, playing like this. So that's what I did. Never played in a high school band. But I had I had a band together then that we would do things, just cover songs. You know, do "Hey Joe" by Jimi Hendrix and "Sunshine of Your Love" by Cream or something. You know, they're the only 2 songs that I could play at that time. So never got into that. Then I had a scholarship for gymnastics to New Hampshire, and I went for like maybe 3 months, and had a gig with Chubby Checker, and I quit. Went out on the road with Chubby Checker. At that time, he was paying $300 a week, and that was like, oh, I'm talking about I'm going to move to Beverly Hills, man. You know, $300 was a lot at that time, you know. So that's just one thing led to another, man. You know, just playing and being in the right spot at the right time, and people would call me to play, and you know. That's how I got with Melba. You know, same way. It was like just playing at a wedding with this bass player friend of mine, John Hart. He had just gotten a gig with Melba, and I said, "Well, if she needs a guitar player, let me know." He said, "I think they might need one." And that was a Saturday. They called me on Monday to come to New York, so I had to run up to New York, and she was doing a lot of Broadway type music then, reading charts and all that. And slowly she started getting into more R&B. Later in my time, I was with her about 4 or 5 years, something like that. And a lot of great musicians came through that band, you know, passing through, and that led me to other gigs, you know. And since Melba, I did, like I said, Mary Wells. I did some gigs with her. Damon Harris from the Temptations. He took Eddie Kendrick's place, and then he had his group called Impact, and they were out of Baltimore. Did some gigs with him. Lee Andrews and the Hearts, like old time, when we get married and a doo-wop stuff, you know. And his son, it's funny because we would rehearse in Lee Andrews in West Philly in his living room, and his son was a baby then. He's in the crib yelling and screaming. It was Questlove.
Wow.
You know, drummer Questlove, that's he's on the Jimmy Fallon show, the drummer.
Yeah.
But from the Roots. Yeah, it was him.
Big Afro.
And I said, I saw him once. I said, man, I used to tell you to be quiet while you were in the crib making all that noise while we were rehearsing at your father's house. It was funny. But yeah, man, you know, so that's, like I said, one thing led me to another, you know.
Which genre do you like the best? Because you said that you sing backup before, you did blues, jazz, a lot of other stuff in your bio. What's your favorite genre and why?
Man, it's hard, man. I like, you know, I can't pinpoint one favorite thing because I like so many, you know. Like the blues, I was never really hard blues. I just started my first when Don and them, like I played on did some arrangements and played on Melba Moore's record a couple years ago called "Read My Lips." Friend Janice Dempsey wrote it, and I did it, created an intro and played some guitar on it. And somehow Don's brother Bo heard this. I did this blues called "Sweet Mama." Just did a blues song because I was trying to get this agent to get me in Europe. He said, "Well, I want to hear a blues song," so I wrote a blues song. And "Sweet Mama" went to I went to Greece, and I won the blues award in Greece for that song, blues song of the year in Greece. And so I put the album together, "Sweet Mama," and I didn't want to try to stay away from that traditional, like that 1-4-5 blues, man, the same thing changing. You know, I tried to keep it bluesy, but add a little twist to it, you know, a little funk to it, you know. With like Kingfish, great artist of the day, I would say Kingfish is traditional because he's from Clarksdale, you know. The blues are becoming too homogenized for me right these days. So I try to, like with $2 Bill, I'm trying to get back to that juke joint, Clarksdale, Mississippi, 1939 vibe, you know. That's what my new album's going to probably be called, Juke Joint, actually. Let's try to have it out probably January, February. So it's hard for me to pick one genre, you know. Right now I'm in the blues, so I'm just sticking with that for right now. But I like all kinds of music. I mean, you have to. If you want to write and create, you have to listen to everything and then mix it into where you feel comfortable, I believe, you know.
Here's that. Are you currently doing any live shows, anything?
Yeah, I do. Well, I this weekend I'm doing, I got a double bill up in Philly. I have to play at Stock on the main stage with my band up there this Saturday. That's in the afternoon. And then at night, I'm part of a big entourage called David Usikin's In the Pocket. He has a lot of the Philly rock icons, and he included me in there to perform. So I do a couple songs. Mainly all the songs have to deal with Philly. So I do Sarah's Smiles, and he actually lets me do Sweet Mama. He let me do my song, Sweet Mama. But they try to keep it all doing like songs that from Philly with this band. So the Ardmore, it's sold out already. So it sells out every year. And this is his 15th year anniversary, so it's sold out very quick. And mainly I do a lot of solo gigs. I play to my own tracks because I have my own studio. So I do a lot of my songs. I just did a gig at the Mainstay Theater in Rock Hall, Maryland. And I got very nice vibe there. People really like $2 Bill. They're into it. They love it. And I wrote that. They asked me how I wrote that song. My uncle used to always say, I'm sure you might have heard it from one of your uncles or somebody, always say, "Come on, boy, I'm $10 waiting on the dime. You got me waiting on the dime out here." So this guy, Ray, always comes to see me play. He always tips me with $2 bills. So that's where I got the idea for, hey, come on, I'm a rare $2 bill and you got me waiting on the dime. And just did a story with it. Have you seen the video of that yet?
$2 bill?
Yeah, have you seen that video?
Several times.
Oh, okay. Did you like it?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Matter of fact, speaking of me liking it, I sent it to this guy, and he's gonna put you some magazine. I don't know what the magazine is, but as soon as I find out, I would definitely send it to you, Virgil and Don. But okay. I had to send him your bio, which I I tell them it's in the bottom of the video, but that's in your bio, the photos. You know, did you see the email I sent you?
Not the last one, no.
Okay, anyway, like I sent like 20 of your pictures. 20 pictures I found. I just got them off of your social media. Matter of fact, I had a guy text me today, said that somebody said they would a lady said they were doing something in her school, and she got my text about the Zoom call at night, and she saw that on Instagram, and there was 2 pictures on there that I got from Instagram of Indians, and she said it was an Indian person there, and they really liked that picture of the 20 pictures I put on the Instagram post. So
well, thank you. I appreciate that, man.
It's just funny how like it could be a small world sometimes. Like you mentioned Hall & Oates, like I could talk all night about Hall & Oates, but I just I'll tell you later. But anyway, I helped break Sarah's Smile. I actually helped break the record Sarah's Smile from Cleveland, Ohio. They used to have it they used to have that in the Wikipedia, but I think they took it out though. But I'll tell you that story later. I got an Instagram post telling the whole story about what happened.
Oh man, very good, very cool. I love to see that, man. That's crazy because it was weird. I picked that song because I said, well, look, because I mean, you know, it has a lot of different artists there. There's all artists that recorded in Philly, and I just picked. I don't know what made me think. I picked Sarah for some reason, but I do my own arrangement. I had horns. I put in. I do a nice guitar solo through it. You know, I blues it up pretty much. If we it'll be video. If it's videotaped, I'll make sure you get a copy. I'll send you a copy of me performing it.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, was that on your YouTube channel or something?
There is one. I think there is one from last year, I think. But I'm going to try and have my own camera, have somebody shoot the whole thing for me. Because usually it'll get from somebody shooting it, and then they'll send me a video. But I want to put it on my own camera and shoot it. So
yeah, that whole situation was just so surreal, man. I couldn't even believe it. You know, to think back on it now, I think that was 30 years ago.
And so you got writer's credit for that?
Huh?
Did you get writer's credit and all that?
No, not writer's credit. I was marketing and promoting it.
I got you. Okay,
I come from retail. I broke it in retail, and that was broke the record. But what happened was I was DJing back then. There was 2 DJs. One became kind of famous. The name DJ named Michael Gage was at WADQ in Cleveland. Marco Spoon was at WGMO. He eventually went to Chicago and blew up big time. Then he went to Houston and still was blowing up big time. But anyway, they were in high school and they would come to gigs. I was doing gigs and they would like open up for me. I thought I was a big shot. So I would come on at midnight and play Hello, It's Me by the Isley Brothers as my introduction, like I'm some kind of big thing or something, you know, doing that, which, the ego big head thing. But anyway, like I said, Mike Gage
we've all had that, brother. We've all had that once in a while. One time
Mike Gage had brought the album into the room, you know, to the event. And we're like, who are these 2 odd-looking guys on the cover? You know, whatever. When they played the song, man, them young kids started dancing to it. And next thing you know, it's history. They took it back to the radio station, the WBQ, and played it. And, you know, we broke it in the club, then they broke it on the radio, and then which was a soul station. But the problem with WBQ was it only was on during the day, so it went off at 5 o'clock. So anyway, so the rock station Wixie 1260, you know, it got credit for the record because of course they was playing it once it got started. They were playing. See, people don't. There's an art to breaking a record. It can start at college radio. It can start at retail. It can start anywhere. You just have to just take that snowball and keep it going.
I know. Well, that's what I said. People ask me, "Oh man, you know how the music business is now. It's just a travesty the way what's going on." But people say, "Well, how'd you get your stuff on the radio?" I said, "I have somebody promoting. I couldn't do that myself. You know, I'm lucky. Don and them do a great job promoting and believing in the music for me, and I trust them pretty much, 120%. So I have ideas. I do certain things. I mean, all my videos that I've done, some I'll do myself, and I'll just create characters and artwork and put it in the video music. But I mean, it's crazy. I mean, because so many people can put music out now. If somebody's putting out music as we speak right now, you know what I mean? So it's just crazy.
This might be an absolutely ridiculous question for you, but I'm asking anyway. When you perform, do you do live or track dates or both?
I do both. When I do solo gigs, yeah. When I do solo gigs, like I said, I'm playing on the album. I play all the instruments on the album. So there's only one song, maybe I have a guest keyboard player in there, but pretty much I play everything. So I'll put my tracks together, and when I play live, I just take out the background vocals. I'll take out the guitar, and I sing and play guitar over my tracks. Then I play in a band. I have a keyboard player. He plays left-hand bass. He's very good, and a drummer. And just do the same thing. A little bit more rocky, a little bit more exciting because, you're on stage and all, of course. But I've pretty much been playing three-piece for a long time. It's either guitar, bass, and drums, guitar, keyboards, and drums, whatever. So I'm used to doing that, a trio. But I do both.
You mentioned about an award that you got overseas, I think you said. But what other type of awards or accolades have you gotten during your career?
Well, I got Abilene Music Awards in Philly, this club I used to play at. They had a ceremony there, and I got best guitarist or whatever. There's no such thing. The best guitarist, come on, it's kind of like, it's kind of ridiculous to me because everybody's great in their own right, So, but I appreciate it. It was great, thought what counts and all that. And just that, and Sweet Mama, I was very surprised at Sweet Mama, because it's a blues. And I mean, a lot of people play blues because it's only 3 chords, but actually blues is the hardest thing to play because you have to create and be new with every song. It's like reggae, you got to be creative with it. It's like the same beat, of course, but you got to do different things with it. Blues the same way. I like Eric Gales. I like what he's doing. I like Kingfish, what he's doing with it. They're rocking up, putting more edge on it, Buddy Guy's going to be Buddy Guy. He's the last of the greats, and Bobby Rush, same thing. They're the true ones. And Shamika Copeland, So you still got some real true cats out there. But I find that, like I said, a lot of cats, if you look at the blues Billboard charts, it's like, I don't know, people are playing the blues and they're doing it, but they're going through the motions. They're playing something they haven't lived, to me, singing something they haven't lived. Not putting them down, but our people have forgotten about the blues. I'll play in front of some Black people and they just look at me like, oh, with the blues. I'm like, dude, this is our heritage, and if it wasn't for this, you wouldn't listen to anything else, But if you go to Mississippi, Alabama, Kansas City, they still got that tradition going on, And down to Clarksville, I did a thing, went down to Clarksville about 20 years ago. Went to the Crossroads, all that, outside Clarksville. Went to Dockery Farms, and they put the Crossroads in the middle of town, which it was no such thing as a Crossroads where they have it. It's mainly for a tourist trap. But Clarksdale is right there. I mean, it's just a really special place to me. People
that's not familiar with Clarksdale, what state are you talking about?
Mississippi. I'm sorry, Clarksdale, Mississippi.
Okay.
Birthplace of the blues, as they say. Dockery Farms is where a lot of the blues cats are, like Charlie Patton, who's really, they say, the father of the blues. Pop Staples, Howlin' Wolf, Robert Johnson, of course. Who else? A lot of guitars. They would have those jukes on the weekends, and this guy Dockery had, it was one of those sharecropper things where they worked and he paid them in Dockery money, which is only good at his store. So he would let them, what a racket that is, right? So he would let them Saturday night have their little jukes and have their little parties, and that's what they did. Now, and when you went across the road and walked down past the cemetery, that's where the real Crossroads is, where Robert Johnson supposedly sold his soul or whatever, which is impossible to do because you don't own your soul, so you can't sell it. So but I love the story. But what he really did was go up north at this guy Tommy Johnston and studied with him. And the style that he played up there, they weren't familiar with in Clarksdale. So that's why it was so foreign to them when he came back to play. And he did things that they've never heard, playing slide and sound like 2 guitar players playing, People have tried to copy his style. I ain't heard it yet. I ain't heard nobody do it right yet, So very special place. I'm thinking I'll probably go back down there, I think, for vacation, maybe February, something like that.
You had me laugh because, like I said, I come from retail. I had my own $2 bill, by the way.
Oh,
and it was only good at my store. We passed them out at events, but it was only good at my store. It was good for $2 off an album with the $2 bill. So I'm gonna send you a picture of it. That's why I was laughing when you said about $2. You know, the whole thing about the $2 bill and all of that is just so many. You know, it's just such a small world when you even mention certain things.
I'll give you my address. If you got one, send it to me.
Oh, I have to find it. I have pictures of it. I'll text you a picture.
Okay. As I said I'll put it on something.
But actually, I just remember in my storage locker, I have a few boxes of them that I kept for some reason. I was using them mostly back, I think, in the 80s and 90s. But when they wrapped them up in plastic. So yeah, I probably will, send you one or whatever.
Yeah,
but that
man,
was just how I thought of that. And then like even with that, not only did I have my own money, but I would also did something like I saw in a grocery store recently where they said they were accepting coupons from competitors. I did that too. I would say I don't want nobody to ever have anything cheaper than me, so I would accept a coupon from a competitor. Now, how long have you been doing this all together now?
Oh, wow. I started when dinosaurs ruled the earth.
I hear you.
I've been doing this 50 years, I guess, at least 50 years, something like that.
How many years?
50.
50.
Yeah, 50. And I've been doing it for 50 years, and I'm only 29, so I don't have arithmetic words, but that.
Well, I'm 52 years working on 53 years.
That's what I'm talking. There we go. We have the same math teacher, so it's great.
Yeah. But what you've done such amazing things, and of course, Melba Moore is one of my favorite people. I just love the fact of seeing her with Cat Williams on at the getting her.
Oh yeah, when she got that award, the same day she got that award is the same day I got mine. That was crazy.
No.
Don I saw the video of her getting her award, and then Don sent me a note about me winning the award. And then they sent me a plaque and all that kind of thing, which I loved. That was great. I'm like, wow, from one of my songs. I mean, it's what a great compliment to me, and that was a thrill. That, that was a highlight in the last 2 years.
Would you work with so many people? And so many amazing things, like I say, background singing, blues, jazz, R&B, all kind of stuff. Do you have any favorite moments that you can speak of in your career?
Playing with Albert King, meeting James Brown, Wilson Pickett, playing at the Apollo. Played with an artist from England named Misha Paris, and she had a hit out that time. You were my one temptation, a pop tune, and I joined her, and we were out on the road with Simply Red, and we did. She did two songs on the Apollo, and so that was a thrill. Be on the Apollo, bam, touch the log and all that kind of thing. So that was a big thrill. Playing the United Nations, I've done that with Melba Moore, and Cicely Tyson was curating it. Meeting Medgar Evers' wife and Mississippi down in Jackson. And there's some, I'm sure I can't remember, but that's the ones that popped, hit me right away.
Nelson Mandela up in Detroit, downtown there, those two, the towers they used to have down there. Two Towers Hotel thing. Yeah, he was up there. It was amazing to see.
Very cool. You got to talk to him?
No, I didn't get a chance to talk to him. I mean, he had, security. It wasn't like I was his buddy. I'm just like one of the people in the crowd that just happened to get a chance to walk close.
Oh, there you go.
I think so. That's crazy too. Now that I think about it, years later, back in 1990, I think it was. I met President Reagan 3 times. And I had an office out there at Fox Plaza in Century City, California. And then he had an office in the same building. I think I was the only person of color in there regularly that I saw. On the other people I saw of color was the mailmen, letter carriers or whatever, a photographer I met, walking in there or whatever. But anyway, it was weird because, you know how they got the Secret Service and stuff. I was about like 3 feet from this man, 3 feet. And I'm like, I was dressed in a suit and everything, but to think about all the bad things that have happened in general, especially lately, it's like for me to be 3 feet from President Reagan is like, wow. It's like, and I was the only, person of color in the area at the time too. So I should have been. Maybe they were watching me and I just didn't know, and they're ready to grab me if I did something crazy. I don't know.
Well, no, the thing is, you were black. If you were the other color, they'd be watching it, because black people don't be shooting nobody like that. So you know what I mean. So if you were
shooting or stabbing or whatever,
if you were on the other side, they would stop you, man, hit you in the head with something, something, But black people ain't killing people, so they didn't worry about you, pretty much. So.
He used to give 2 years in a row. I think it was like 2 years in a row. He sent my mother autographed Christmas cards.
Oh, very cool.
That's like a real rarity to actually, not just a copy of his signature, but an actual one signed by him.
Oh, very nice. Yeah.
A friend of mine got it. It had nothing to do with his relationship or anything with my mother. A stockbroker I was dealing with out there named Ed Town worked with Merrill Lynch. He got them done for me. He also had an office in that building too. So he's the one that got it, But that was just some crazy, interesting thing.
You made me think of something else. I met Prince at the show at the Ritz in New York. My friend Bobby Duckett was working at the Ritz, and so I was standing back, kind of like off stage. Sheila E. was playing, and I'm looking over at the board. I'm like, damn, this Prince over there mixing. I saw this little guy who's mixing. He's right at the Purple Rain, that kind of thing, because he still had the Paisley stuff on. And at the end of the night, I went, we're backstage, and I walked up to him. I said, hey, man, I love your work. How you doing? And he just stood there and looked at me and went like this, you're tall, and then walked away. So I said, okay, that's well, at least he said hello. At least he said something. So that was interesting.
I met him and I met him a couple of times, but one time I missed his show because I had dinner with Vanity Six when they came out, and it was in Cleveland at a hotel, real nice dinner, and then they had a show afterwards. But I'm like, I didn't want to go to the show, so I gave the show to the girls that worked at my store. Oh. Lo and behold, Prince did a surprise performance that night.
Oh man!
So I missed that, but at least the girls had a great time. They had a great time.
I went out with Vanity's sister for a minute. Well, it was a couple of dates. She lived out in outside of Oakland, in Richmond. We were doing a show out in San Francisco when I was with Misha, and her and Misha knew each other from somewhere. I guess when Prince was over in London or something, they met. Because actually, Prince discovered Misha. She was at an after show party, and it's on video somewhere. You can find it. But he says, I heard you sing, and Misha got up and sang with him. And so that's where she knew Vanity's sister from, I guess. And Prince was actually supposed to do her next album after that one, but she got pregnant and changed management, so that never came through. She's still performing though. She's a great vocalist. I don't know if you ever heard her, but she's very good vocalist.
She actually joined my website, and back in like 2008 or something, but she cussed me out.
Who's that?
I'm gonna tell you why though. What happened was I have a website, right? But it's like anybody can join.
Saying, who are you talking about?
I didn't hear you. You said what?
No, I said who cussed you out?
Vanity.
Oh.
What happened was on the website, anybody can join the website, right? So, right. You have where you can communicate. This was the Ning, N-I-N-G website. Mine is superstarcentral.ning.com. But anyway, so she was on the website, so I could communicate with the people to join or whatever. And she got mad because I guess somebody was on there, maybe some rapper, somebody was on there cussing or whatever. She had went to, she had got saved or went to gospel, before she passed. She was into gospel or something or whatever. But, she got pissed off. I'm gonna see if I can find that message. If her profile is still, I probably can find the message between me and her. That was just, interesting. I mean, I just have so many crazy relationships with different celebrities. When I was 9 years old, Donna Ross kissed me on my cheek, and Martha Reeves from Martha Reeves and the Vandellas too. My brother and sister used to be dancers on a show called the Big Five Show, and it was called Upbeat Show. So I was a little kid. I was a little brother that would be in the audience. Man, I've been trying to get footage on, like, I mean, they showed me on the camera a lot. I'm just like a little kid that's happy to be there and whatever, seeing my brother and sister dancing, you know, like how you see on American Bandstand and stuff, man.
Oh yeah,
it was like just weird. But I'm gonna just say this. I'm gonna get back to what we're supposed to be doing. When I was young, one of my favorite groups almost all my life was the Isley Brothers, right? So, you know, when they had you know, Pop That Thing and Put It in Layaway and all them older tunes, even the ones that the people from the UK did. So when I got a chance to interview them a couple of years ago, about 3 years ago, it was real interesting, the fact that you know, I showed them my Billboard ring, which you can see in my background now. I have a Billboard ring for the Isley Brothers. So when I was interviewing them, and I talked about the ring, they said we don't even have one. So to interview somebody that you've been crazy about since you was a little kid, and I'm gonna share one other quick story about the Isley Brothers. There was a big concert at Richfield Coliseum in Cleveland, in the Cleveland area. In Richfield, actually, you know, Richfield is also the name of the city. But anyway, big concert or whatever. So after the show, I had, you know, backstage, I had, you know, invites to the hotel and all that. So me and my cousin I went with, we went to the hotel. So we saw Ron walking into the hotel with a woman on each arm, and then one of his other brothers, or either one of his other brothers or somebody in the band was right behind him. So we went up in the suite where you have all of the, you know, food and stuff like that. Nobody was in there but me and my cousin. We sat down like we was at a Thanksgiving dinner, eating that stuff or whatever, and Ronald and the other guy never even came out their room, never came in that area. Normally you go in there like as a meet and greet, right? They stayed in the bedroom with them girls the whole night.
Oh man. Rock and roll, man. Rock and roll.
Yeah. You know, the music industry is, you know, has some wild stuff going on. So
too many stories to tell on that.
Yeah. So what keeps you motivated?
Oh man, life, man. You know, I mean, a lot of interest. I'm into photography and art, riding motorcycles and things like that. But hearing music, man, you know, I might hear something that I've never heard before that it motivates me or excites me. You know, watching movies. I love Sinners. I love that movie. I actually was working on a screenplay before that came out. Something similar to that. I'll get into that with you later. But you know, I just love art, man. Love to laugh, love to make people laugh, like to play music, like to make people feel good, man. That's good people motivate me. Positive people motivate me, you know.
How often do you ride motorcycles?
How long have I been riding?
How often?
Well, I haven't ridden in about 3 weeks, maybe. And I don't ride if I'm gonna play, if I'm getting ready to do a gig, because I don't want to get something in my throat and all that. I was gonna ride today, but I knew I had to do this because it just relaxes me. So I might tomorrow maybe, or either maybe tomorrow or Thursday I might take a little ride. I'm not far from a lake in the park, so I take a ride there. And I got to play Saturday, so I just, you know, rest up for that and practice Friday to go over the songs I have to play, you know.
You be careful on the motorcycle, because a friend of mine died on the motorcycle recently.
Oh yeah, I've had a couple accidents on it.
In LA, he was on the freeway, and a vehicle hit his motorcycle, and he died.
Oh yeah, no way.
He was a
thing down here,
famous bodyguard. He was a famous bodyguard.
Oh well, yeah. I'm sorry to hear that anytime, but a lot of people down here ride.
Be careful, because you never know. Anybody can be drunk or texting or distracted driving, and you ride in their way.
Oh yeah. Well, the thing is, down here, a lot of people ride down here, so you have more down here, more conscious people. But still, that happened to my cousin. Same thing. Somebody was texting, he was riding, and you know, he's all right now, but he got jacked up. I had a bad one about, I don't know, about 10 years ago. but nobody hit me. I was like, I always wear a helmet. And I was riding, and I took my glasses off for while I was riding, and a bee hit me in my eye, and I made the bike go like this. So I tried to lay it down and broke, cracked a rib, had my knees messed up. I had to get my knee sewed back on, and sprained my ankle. I fractured my ankle. And that was just a rare thing. It wasn't because of somebody else. But like I said, if you're crazy if you don't wear a helmet, you're out of your mind. In Pennsylvania, they don't have to wear helmets. I'm like, I cringe when I see people ride without a helmet, because first thing's going to hit the ground is your head. And I'm a gymnast, and my head hit the ground, but I had a helmet on, so. But I agree with you totally.
Well, at least try not to drive at night, because a friend of mine was driving on major highway, 71 South in Ohio, major highway. And I think he hit a chuck hole or something weird. It was something weird, like a chuck hole or something in the street that made his bike turn over. And he got injured real bad. He was like, stuck for like 6 months to a year before he, got better.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I eventually, I eventually get to a 3-wheeler. Eventually, because then you don't have to worry about things. I mean, like, you don't have to worry about turning over and all that.
Yeah.
And because once you ride, you love it. It's just the air and the freedom.
Even if I ride a regular bicycle, I'm gonna make sure I got training wheels on it these days.
Yeah. I can dig it. But I mean, I have a lot of property, so I have a lawn tractor, so I'll get on there and ride that, and sometimes I'm writing music while I'm doing that. I wrote $2 bill, put that together in my head, cutting my grass, the lyrics and how I wanted the song to go,
like I said earlier, you've actually done a lot of amazing stuff. But has your style changed since you started, since you became professional? Had your style changed any at all?
Oh, yeah. My singing's gotten better. I mean, back in the day, I could sing stuff in Chaka Khan's key. I used to think You Got the Love in her key, because I had such a high voice. It's changed a little bit now. But my guitar playing is better. I always try to invent things and I have my own style of playing, So I practice, always try to create things and be fresh with it, More like my style is more like a blues meets Jeff Beck, I guess. As I wrote Mr. Beck, it was dedicated to Jeff Beck, so I had that style of his incorporated with the whammy bar and all that. It's more that's the way he played, kind of. So I want to emulate that if I'm going to do a tribute to him, instead of doing one of his songs. Like everybody did songs of his as a tribute, which is fine, and I did it too, but I said, let me write something special for him, and so it went really well. It's still being played a lot. A lot of stations are still playing that song. When I go and look at my songs that are being played, still being played a lot on guitar stations,
I just put your Instagram in the chat for people to get it. And I'm going to say it again for people on YouTube and for later.
Instagram very cool.
Is Jeff_Washington_music. Jeff, JEFF_Washington, like Washington, D.C., _Washington_music, MUSIC.
Right.
Now that you're older, been around 50 years now.
Yep.
So 50 years ago, when you got started, what would the man that's been around now for 50 years tell that guy 50 years ago? What would you tell your younger self about the music industry, about anything, about music, about anything? What would you say now if you had to go back 50 years and say, hey, make sure you do this, make sure you do that?
Focus, focus, focus. I had too many distractions. I would write and stuff. I mean, I was just talking about this earlier about writing and how anybody can write a song, but is it going to be profound? Is it going to be a hit? Is it going to be something that people want to hear? And back in the day, I would write songs for me and, kid songs, love and this and that. I mean, you're never too old to not love. So I still might write it. But most of my songs are about a woman leaving me now. That's most of my songs left me dry, baby. But I would say focus, 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 man. I had too many other distractions around me in Philly. Too many distractions. Still have that kind of vibe now, but like if I start a song, I'll put like some songs I'll do 8 bars and I'll lose focus. I'll leave it. I'll come back to it. I just lay it down. If I have an idea, I'll lay it down and then come back to it. Then if I come back to it, I'm fresh on it, and then I'll expound on it and then sing a chorus to it and sing something to it. And then add guitar to it, just hum it. Might be washing dishes or something, and it'll make me think of something. So I'm glad I still have that inspiration at any time. And I have seasonal times when I write. Around this time now, September, October, November, that's when I'll write. I'll write more, Summertime, I don't write too well. It sounds like the Beach Boys or something if I write during the summertime. But yeah, I'm more like a moody writer. So yeah, November, December, that kind of thing. Hopefully, I could put an album out now, but I don't want to rush it. Don said, don't rush it. And I was kind of rushing Sweet Mama. I rushed some of that when I listened to some of it. And I'm like, but hindsight's always 20/20. So I'll do those songs then, but I'll do them different now. If I do them live now, I might do something different to them or put something else to it. Than was on the record. A lot of people do that. You're going to play live, you're going to add more spice to it, a little bit more butt to it. The only people that do stuff like the record are cover bands. They do it just like the record. But people that do the record, they always put a little bit of extra in there for the audience, tease them with it or something. So, yeah.
Records, speaking of records, do you find it more difficult to do like a ballad or a slower song or than an up-tempo, like a dance type song, or just an up-tempo song versus a slow song?
I can do slow song faster than I can do the up-tempo song. Yeah, I can write a slow song like that for some reason. Up-tempo songs, if I'm playing with the band, it's going to be up-tempo. I'm gonna kick it out and do some things with it, and because I get feelings from other interactions and the drums, and it makes me kick off something, or I'll remember something that I did with the band and then funk it up, But ballads come to me pretty easy, pretty much.
The reason why I ask that question is because me being from Cleveland and Motown only being 2 hours away, Detroit, and Cleveland was a testing ground for the Motown artists, by the way, for people that didn't know that. So, being so close, you go to Cleveland, like your practice before you get on the road or whatever. Right. So anyway, with that being, a place called Leo's Casino, big name, if anybody go look it up. But anyway, the reason I said it, because you think of songs like Since I Lost My Baby by the Temptations and Supreme, Someday We'll Be Together, and just other songs that's kind of sad or about love. Like I say, Since I Lost My Baby and the other kind of stuff, and Marvin and Gaye, What's Going On, and these things. A lot of the stuff, it's kind of like sophisticated writing if you look at it from a world perspective, but at the same time, it's hard to make stuff like to control the dance floor is what I think, is different, so people can do that. But I just wanted to mention that because I just have noticed growing up, it seemed like that all of the everybody, is doing ballads and sad stuff. And I guess we, if we from Mississippi like me, I guess a lot of stuff is going to be sad.
If you're Mississippi, of course, it's going to be the blues, baby. It's the blues, And like I said, we brought the blues over here with us. Nobody pushed that on. It's like, my man in Center says that. He says, they push religion on us, but we brought the blues over here with us.
I hear you. Now, when this is all said and done, what do you want to be remembered for?
Oh man, just my music, man. And like I tried to make people happy, man. And if still sing my songs once in a while. If they impacted you, and made you feel some kind of way, that's what it's all about. Can't get no better than that. I try to be a good person to everybody and just write music and try to make people happy, man. That's all.
Have you come across any of these new people now? The artists that just coming out recently that you maybe would like to work with or do a song with?
Yeah, I haven't met any of them, but like I said, I like him. Like I said, Kingfish, he's like legit, man. He is from Clarksdale, Mississippi. young brother, and he's playing the blues. He's doing what he's supposed to be. He's doing what the real deal. Eric Gales, great guitarist. I think he's from, I don't know if he's either from Kentucky or somewhere. I forget where Eric's from. Great guitarist though, brother, killing it.
What do you think about people like Bruno Mars, like work with somebody like that?
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I pop wise, if I'm going to listen to anything, I like Kendrick Lamar. I like Snarky Puppy. I don't know if you heard of them, like a horn instrumental band. I like them. Who else? There's so many. I did right on the tip of my tongue. It's a group called Moonchild. I like. They do some nice things. This woman has a very unique voice. She sings like this, real whispers and real grooves, but the hard grooves, soft, punchy grooves underneath there. Get a chance to check them out on YouTube.
When you work with these different people like Melba Moore, for example, and some of the other people that you mentioned that's big out here, or just the people know about, were you like in the studio with them, or you just went and cut the track and went home and they came and sang on it? Or were you ever sitting down together talking about it?
No, I just played live. I just did all her live stuff. Because at that time she had the producers; they used their own people. I was Philadelphia. And it's funny because everybody was from New York, but I was the only original person that was born in New York in that band. Everybody lived in New York, but I was the only one born there. And so I was, traveling from Philly back up there. So it was kind of cliquish, it was the clique. So all the cats would be on this one. I mean, Kashif put his tracks together. He uses guys, I think he had some of the Wooten brothers played with Kashif, Victor Wooten and them. They played with him, Wooten brothers. And there used to be this place up in New York called The Cellar. And a lot of the cats in New York would play there. So I would go up there. My friend John Adams, who was MD in Melbourne for years, he played with Harry Belafonte, Cameo, all kinds of people. And I would go up there and hang with him. And he would introduce me to a lot of the cats up there, try to get me in the clique, And you'd have guys like Larry Blackman and coming there looking for band cats so he can put in their band, That was like band shopping. Come to The Cellar. That's all the good guys were playing, And so I would just mainly do the road. I didn't do too many recordings. I mainly just performed, did the performing thing, which is always my thing, performing. That was, And when I joined Melba, she was doing a lot of Broadway stuff, which I did not do. I didn't do any Broadway things. So I had to read charts, and she was doing Blue Skies and Hard Swing with horn bands and all that kind of thing, And then she slowly got into R&B, and did that 90s thing with the guitar thing, 80s thing with the way the guitar sounded back then. And back then I was into the Police, back then, 80s, Jeff Beck, of course, Tower Power, James Brown, always. Bootsy Collins, saw him actually down here and talked to him for a few. He was at this place, the Avalon Ballroom in Easton, Maryland. And I went to that show, and that's the first time I really saw him and talked to him. But enjoyed him a lot. Really, very nice guy to talk to.
Yeah, our next Tuesday we're doing a release party, album release party, listening party. 2 weeks from tonight for Bootsy Collins and stuff. The girl Myra Washington is singing on the song. Anybody out there? We're featuring her. She's also a DJ, and we're just gonna listen to a song and do so. That's what we're gonna start doing on Tuesdays. You might be our last regular interview, because we're going to change the format on our next call.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. And you say you're in Cleveland? Did you say? I used to play them Budfest in Cleveland at the stadium there, baseball stadium, right? Is the baseball stadium right on the lake there?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, we did a lot of those Budfest there. They're always in Cleveland, it seems like. Cleveland and Detroit. I don't remember too much about Cleveland. I just remember the Budfest playing there, but I don't remember. Besides that, I don't remember.
Oh, yeah, there's some huge stuff. I think it was the football stadium, that was right on the water, was where they had, I think, the Budfest. I think that's where Jackson performed at.
Yeah, I knew it was one of those stadiums.
There, all the big rock bands. Matter of fact, I know the guy that put Meatloaf out. He's from Cleveland.
Oh, okay.
The guy to put out Meatloaf.
Okay.
Meatloaf. He's from Cleveland.
My grade school buddy. No, I was going to say
my
grade
was in
school
a
buddies.
video together.
My grade school buddy's sister was married to Meatloaf.
Oh well.
I
keep telling people it's a small world.
Real
I just
small,
saw them earlier on the Celebrity Apprentice while I was working. I watched different shows. That's one of my favorite shows from back in the day, is the Apprentice TV show that Donald Trump used to put on.
Oh, okay.
The Apprentice.
Yeah, I never had that.
Yeah.
Never got into that one.
Just yeah, I put your like I said, I put your stuff in the chat here, and also when people watch this video on YouTube, it'll be in the bottom. What you do is when you watch the video, and if you look down toward the bottom, it'll say read more. You click that, and you'll see his bio. You're gonna see his booking contact. You're gonna see his Instagram. You're gonna see his Facebook. You're gonna read the bio, find out what's going on, some of the people you work with, and all that stuff. But in the meantime, I'm gonna play 2 of your songs right now.
I just lost you.
And the first one is Goodbye, Mr. Beck.
Am I still here with you? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Can't see me though?
I hear that shit.
I see the video, but I don't hear it.
Okay, working on a new laptop. I'm trying to learn this MacBook Pro. Give me a second. Yeah, I'm so used to my HP.
Yeah, I saw the video, but I didn't hear anything.
Right.
Have you seen the movie Sinners?
Hold on.
Time to go a cappella.
I could always play it from this side if you need me to. Oh, there it goes.
Hey there. Oh, thank you, darling. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, I saw this beautiful lady I was looking at. I was looking at her the whole time I was listening to that.
Thank you. It was amazing.
Thank you. What is your name?
My name is Evelina Hernandez, aka Crypto Queenie.
Oh, hola, ¿cómo estás?
Hola, muy bien. Aquí, muchas gracias. Toca muy bien.
Cheers. You're inspiring me to write another song.
Let's do it. I'm here if you need help.
Oh, there you go, babe. I'm down. I'm ready. Let's go right in the way. I got the guitar right here. Let's go. We'll do it real quick. Am I still? Oh, okay. I'm still being interviewed.
She loved me, but I knew it was just a lie. While I'm up here on the stage, she's dancing with another guy. And when the gig was over, I said, baby, let's go home. And now all of a sudden she wants to be alone. I said, now, come on now, mama. Stop wasting my time. Oh yeah, 'cause I'm a rare $2 bill, and you got me waiting on a dime. The man at the juke said, come on, back at 10. So I called the brothers up and said, come on y'all, let's do it again. He said when the gig is over, he's gonna lay the money down. But when I went to this fool's office, they said that he was not around. I said, now, come on brother, well stop wasting my time. Oh yeah, 'cause I'm a rare $2 bill, and you got me waiting for a dime. Yes, you do now, brother. Hey.
Do you like that one?
That was good. Bravo.
Thank you. Gracias. There I am. Okay. Are we still on the air?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I had to cut the MacBook Pro down, else of the echo.
Man, you took the beautiful lady away from me, brother. I'm heartbroken. Jeez.
Was she left already?
Yeah, she left. Is that your engineer?
No, I'm here. It's just
okay.
the screen moves over when there's two people talking.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I won't talk. So you can be there. I'll keep my mouth shut.
I'm gonna tell you something about these songs. You know, when I first when Don first sent me a $2 bill, right? My thing is I get focused on one song, right? So my focus is like, what can I do to help this song go, right? So I'm doing my thing, and then Don texts me, say, yeah, there's another song here. When I heard the tribute to Jeff Beck, it just blew my mind.
Oh man, thank you,
I'm
brother.
gonna tell you why, because I'm not really like a lyric person. So I'm hearing $2 bill, and I figure out later, and I go read and see what you said and all of that. Because I'm not, I don't get the lyrics immediately. But on the song about Jeff Beck, there's no lyrics, but I'm just sitting there listening to it, it's just blowing me away because it's just such a great song. It's just such a great song without lyrics. That. Without lyrics, it just.
When it's funny because when I did that song, Don had no idea who Jeff Beck was, and he heard it. And he said he almost had tears in his eyes. He goes, "What the hell?" And I said, "Well, cool," because that's the way I felt when I wrote it. When I was playing it. Yeah, it's definitely one of my favorites. A lot of people dig that song. I do it live, do it with the band, and I do it solo. And yeah, it's that and Sweet Mama, that and $2 Bill have gotten the most receptions live when I play live. Biggest receptions. So the best is yet to come.
Speaking of people crying, the only time I remember somebody crying at a concert that was with me was a young lady. We were at the Frankie Beverly and Mays concert in Akron, Ohio, at the theater downtown. We was in the second row, dead center. And I looked over at her, and she just was tear coming down her eyes. Frankie Beverly had her crying. Like, wow.
Yeah, Frankie's really cool. We did a lot of shows with them. I was with Melba. A lot of shows with Peebo Bryson and Frank and the Mays, the Whispers, Angela Bofield. No, not Angela Bofield. Renee and Angela, I remember. Who else? It was Ready for the World. Did a lot of gigs with a lot of people.
Oh my God! You keep saying these names, I'm going crazy.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I had in 2003, I had Freddie Jackson, Ready for the World, Atlantic Star, and Crystal Williams supposed to be there, but he was doing those gospel plays back then. I had him perform at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It was a big deal that I didn't call myself no kind of big time promoter. But it was a big deal that I brought them all together there. Of course, Don had with Freddie Jackson at the time.
Yeah, it was
to
a great
bring them
show.
Together like that. And the Ready for the World part is that the group had not even spoken to each other, or they had not performed with each other for 11 or 13 years. I went from Cleveland to Flint, Michigan, and convinced them to get back together, and they've been performing ever since. Since 2003, they've been performing ever since. But they did not perform anything for 11 or 13 years before that.
Wow. I remember, there were the Jerry Curl days, was Grease all over the stage with us and them, between us and them. Did a gig with New Edition down at Jamaica at Sunsplash, and with the original band. And what's it called? Ralph was sick, so Bobby did all his parts. I remember. And they were doing some Michael Jackson stuff then too. Some of the stuff that he couldn't sing that Ralph sang, they did some Michael Jackson Thriller stuff or whatever. And then Curtis Blow. You remember Curtis Blow?
Curtis who?
Curtis Blow.
Of course.
Yeah, we did gigs with him. He was crazy. We'll have to do some stories off the air with that one. But really good times. I mean, I've met so many nice people, man, and good people that great memories. I mean, talking to you is bringing back more memories. Is that something that I don't remember every day?
I had a meet and greet with Curtis Blow and Von Mason and crew back when Sugar Hill Gang was real hot.
Oh, okay.
And Curtis Blow and stuff was real hot. The Sugar Hill Gang wasn't there, but I went to the concert later. Well, I actually didn't go inside. I actually went to the Sugar Hill Gang bus. That's to show you my story. I went to their bus. The bus driver gave me a 45 record, because at the time it was only on 12-inch. He said, this is going to be out in a while, but I'm going to give you this 45 record of the Sugar Hill Gang. And that's what he did. So that was kind of interesting. You know, like I said, just, you know, like you've been in the industry, and like when you're saying names like Melba Moore, and you mentioned, like I said, you know, Sarah Smile, which is the record, like I said, I got a post on Instagram to show you how deep I went with that post. Because, you know, a lot of times people don't want people to know stuff, right? I tagged Daryl Hall in the post, and I tagged the record label in the post. And I was telling my friends, I say, if they don't want me to see this, they're going to have this post taken down. It's been up there for about 3 or 4 months so far. With me telling the whole story. That's just like even the Alicia Keys, not Alicia Keys, the Aaliyah post I did, where I'm telling people I was actually with her at 106 in Park, when she gave her the Cadillac Escalade about 3 days before she died in the plane crash. Like a lot of people just don't believe, you know. And in the post, I thank her uncle for, you know, they flew me to 106 in Park, you know, hotel, per diem, limousine, all of that. So, you know, I just appreciate that stuff, and I talk about it.
Yeah, my friend played bass with her, actually, Stacy McGee out of Philly. He played bass for her for a while. And right before he's with her in the band, like the last band she had together. He was playing with her.
But I never just to show you how people do rumors, when we were recording a video. Matter of fact, like I said, the guy that put out Meatloaf, he actually was, he and I were in this video. We played the part of somebody telling the group to go handle their business or whatever. The two of us. But anyway, we were recording this, we were editing the video, and we heard about the Aaliyah thing. To show you how people start rumors, they say Aaliyah died in a plane crash with R. Kelly and Damon Dash. That's the first thing I heard, was that part, and neither one of them were on the plane. It was just her and the people there. Yeah. But ever since then, though, people have been talking about the guy. You know, it's just a whole lot of, I don't even want to get into it. Just a whole lot of stuff. About this industry that's a trip. You know, when we get into the deep part or whatever. Just like even we interviewed a guy on this same platform that you're on that was actually working on getting Angie Stone her publishing back when she died in that car crash. He said he actually was, you know, working on, you know, getting her all her publishing, going way back to Sugar Hill Gang, you know, back to Sugar Hill Records and stuff. That's and then crazy. Next thing you know, she passed. So I'm just like I tell people all the time in this music industry, I'm just glad to be alive. I've been threatened.
Yeah, it'll eat you up, man. It's eating up a lot of people, man. It's eating up a lot of people. You know? A lot of people dying by natural causes don't always seem like they're natural causes, but hey, who knows, you know? Yeah, but I mean, sometimes music will keep people alive, and sometimes it doesn't. You know.
So, Evelina, what did you think about those two songs?
I think they were amazing. I really like how he was playing the Jeff Beck little thing that he did with it, with the bar.
The whammy bar. Oh yeah.
Yeah, the whammy bar.
You know about Jeff Beck, huh?
Yeah. Well, no, I actually don't. But I heard when you were talking about it, and that's one of my favorite things that I've seen some musicians do when they use the whammy bar and stuff. And I'm a super Radiohead. I love music. Music is my language. So listening to that was amazing. And your other song too, it was really good. The $2 one.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I see DJ Punch on camera. What's going on, DJ Punch? Football practice over? What you doing, Punch? You watching basketball or something? What you got your eyes up there looking? You don't even hear me.
That's so funny. No, but I will say, you know, what you guys were talking about was true. You know, like I think music can do one or the other. It can be super stressful for people, or it can nourish a person. So it just depends, you know? Yeah.
It's important what the person is. I mean, because, I mean, you have to have an ego to play music. And but the thing is, you keep it in check, you know, because we want people to believe in what we're doing. You know, we want people to believe in what we're saying. We want people to listen to you. So you have to have an ego to do that. But out of hand egos, like, I don't need you. I don't care if, you know, I'm going to come up here and I'm not going to be humble. I'm not going to be this. I'm great. You come to see me, you know. Miles Davis had that kind of vibe, but he was like, that's Miles. He's like, you know, he would turn around and not face the audience. He says, Miles, why don't you turn around and look at the audience? He said, they came to see me. I didn't come to see them, you know. But that goes along with his persona, you know.
But
so
listen, it's supposed to be that way because, you know, as an artist myself, I always think about this stuff. And it was just Batman's Day, you know, a couple of days ago. So you're always supposed to have an alter ego to the person who you really are, because then you can personify that person and get in check and then leave that and come back to your humbleness, you know?
Yeah. I agree. Very well put. Very well put. I like that.
Thanks.
Very good conceptualizations. Yeah, I mean, I would do that because I used to have this alter ego I was going to do called Trainwreck Johnson. And he's going to be an old blues guy, you know, sitting there on the corner playing his guitar at one of these train stations, you know. I was going to do an album like that, kind of like a joke album, more or less. I still might do it. You might have some guy, if you ever hear Trainwreck Johnson, he goes, oh, that's just Jeff. That's not Trainwreck. That's Jeff Washington. But yeah, I'm more comfortable on stage than anywhere else. You know, I get the little flutters here and there, but I only get flutters if I don't think my guitar's going to sound right or something like that. But I'm more comfortable on stage than at home, pretty much. You know, I get up there and play. I mean, I've done shows. I've played I played 3 hours straight sometimes on stage. You know, without a break. If the audience is moving me, I'll keep playing. I don't want to lose that energy. You know, that vibe.
Okay, I'm ready to put you on the spot. Ready?
Go ahead.
Name your top 5 guitarists of all time.
I'll name you the top 5 at this moment. I can't say of all time. Okay, we'll have Jimmy, Jeff, BB, Albert Collins, Albert King, Carlos Santana.
Wow.
Yeah, some Santana. Because it's weird because a lot of people say I sound like Santana with some of my live stuff. I don't know. It's a compliment. Who else? Oh, there's so many. There's a lot of new guys.
It seemed like everybody playing guitar. It seemed like when I was growing up, I feel like everybody playing the guitar. You know, name famous drummers that you remember. Famous drummers, because you know we can name a lot of guitar players and maybe even keyboard players. But what about drummers?
Drummers like Mitch Mitchell. He played Hendrix. I will say, both of the drummers for James Brown. Who else? What's his name? Dennis Chambers. He's still with us, but he's a great drummer. He started a lot of stuff. A lot of way drummers playing now, they copy from Dennis Chambers. Who else? Vinnie Caliuta, Jack DeJohnette. I don't know. Any drummer that has a pocket, I like.
On the guitar question, you didn't mention Ernie Isley.
Ernie's cool. Ernie's cool. You know, he's cool. He wouldn't be my top 5, but he's cool. You know, Prince is cool. You know, I mean, you know, my top 5. Ernie wouldn't be there because I go with I go with the originators.
I hear you.
The ones that started the party. They're my favorites. And any instrument, guitar, keyboards, sax, whatever, if they started the party, that's who I like because they started the genre of playing and soloing different styles and things, you know.
Name what bands you like better on record than live performance, or which ones you like better live that you didn't like the record actually, that you like the live performance better.
Jeff Beck. It's hard. Jimmy was like, some of his stuff live was amazing, and his records were amazing. So that's like a kind of hit, yes and no on that one. Who else I would say? Wow, that's a good one. Prince, Prince. I liked him live. I liked him live more than records because he stretched out on it live, I would say. James Brown, I liked him on record more than live because when he's playing live, he sped up things. And he got into his like Vegas type vibe. Like Sex Machine on the record is perfect tempo and it's that funk and groove. When he played it live, it was too fast. It didn't move me, and it didn't move like the record did. So that's one rarity there for me.
My friend Charm Warren, who was actually one of the people I started my record label and stuff with back in the day. She was also the president of Queen Latifah's label at one point, and she worked at Warner Brothers. Anyway, when she was at Warner Brothers, she paid for me to go to Cincinnati because I missed Prince's show in near Cleveland. So I drove Cincinnati, which is like a 4-hour drive. I went down there when Red Corvette was hot. He had the Red Corvette on stage. That was a pretty nice show. I like that. But I'm gonna tell you something that's crazy about live shows. Me being from Ohio, of course I know the Ohio players.
Ohio players, yeah, of course, yeah.
They were horrible live. They were horrible live.
I did a show with them in Washington, D.C. at the Carter Barron, and I was amazed because, Sugar, but he didn't have his wig on, so I didn't know it was him, And I thought I was waiting for the girls to come out, and it was the drummer singing those high parts. I'm like, whoa, that's him doing that, And I was like amazed. They were okay live.
It could have been the sound. It could have been the sound man. The sound man messed up a lot of times, but they were like sitting there holding their hand to the ear, and crazy sounds were coming out, and there's all kind of crazy stuff.
His guitar tone was not very good live. I
remember going to a big show in a stadium in Cincinnati. I think I know that Isley Brothers was there. Like I said, they're one of my favorite groups. But I didn't really appreciate the Isley Brothers' performance till they performed at the front row in Cleveland, which is like a 3,300 seater in the round. With inside with perfect sound. I was like, oh my God, this sounds just like the record. Whereas live, it was like, okay, I still like it, especially the upbeat stuff, but what's going on here?
You might have a sound, if they didn't get a sound check maybe, or did a line check just to make stuff with them. I mean, there's been many times when we were rushed. I remember we did Lilo Thomas. I don't know if you remember him. He was with Hush too, and so Melba's band. We backed him up on a couple dates, and so we did. The first date was in D.C. We do a 2-hour sound check, go to the hotel to change, come back, show's canceled. So then we go, okay, get on a tour bus, go down to North Carolina, do the same thing. 2-hour show, 2-hour sound check, come back, show's canceled. I guess it was the same promoter. So then we went to the next one, and we just do line checks where they just want to make sure everything's on. Not, you can't play a song, you don't have time because you're opening act. And, the sound was terrible. So most of the groups that I went out with, they had brought their own sound man. So he already knew what it was supposed to sound like and get the right guitar sound and have the right sound in the monitor for me so I could hear right my vocal and things. So it was always good when I was with an act that had their own sound. Melba would do that too. Don's brother Bo would come out and do our sound. So it was always pretty much the same nailed. He had it nailed. Because you always have the same board. But you were opening up something like when we opened up for Peebo Bryson, we had no sound check. And we had to set up in front of him, in front of his band. I mean, I could almost lean out in the audience and shake hands with people. That's how close we were, And but he still kicked ass. Anyway.
Yeah, we interviewed Peebo Bryson. He's from South Carolina.
Yeah. He's still around, right, Peebo?
You say he's still doing what?
Is he still around, Peebo?
This was at least like 5 years ago that we did this. But let me just say this about him. I was talking when I interviewed him. I reminded him that I met him in Atlanta in the parking lot. In the parking garage, because he pulled up. He had a Cadillac Seville, and I had one too. His looked like mine. So just just like if that was you to hear that story, that somebody actually saw you in the parking lot, parking garage, and you had a car like theirs. I mean, that's more than just like us sitting here talking about the music industry. You're like, wait a minute, I actually saw you in person outside of performing.
Right. Yeah.
Like I said, the same thing with Spinderella, that was a DJ for Salt and Pepper. I saw her we were parking at the same time, and I walked into the hotel where the show was at. You know, just little things like that are just wild to think about it years later.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Anybody have any questions or comments about the songs they heard before we get out of here tonight? So I could talk this man all night long with all the names he dropped.
Yeah, you got me started. I was going to go get some more coffee, and talk. I'll talk to at least till tomorrow morning anyway.
Yeah.
It's a good thing I have a glass of wine, because usually I do interviews, I have a little glass of wine. Right. And that we would never get done. We would never get finished if that happened.
So if nobody have any questions or comments about the music, I'm gonna just keep talking like I did the one time we interviewed the guy, and his wife said, "Wait a minute, he fallen asleep."
Yeah. So yeah, it's cool. But
just, we all know some amazing people and been around amazing people. That's what's so interesting. And you mentioned like songs that make you cry. We were talking about that for a minute. I want to share this because this was kind of unusual. A lot of people would figure it was very unusual, but on the day of my mother's funeral, I played Dear Mama all day long by Tupac. So my sister didn't like it. Said, our mother wasn't no crackhead. I said, it has nothing to do with that. It's a dedication to his mother. It's not about the exact lyrics or what he's saying, even though everybody can relate to the fact of him saying, even though he was selling drugs or whatever, but the fact he could put food on the table. Because in the video, they show you where they were struggling to just just have peanut butter or whatever, or back in the day, mayonnaise sandwiches or whatever. I'm familiar with mayonnaise sandwiches. I'm familiar with government cheese. I'm familiar with cereal in a white box. So I'm familiar with that. So if people don't know anything about that, then they would never understand certain things.
No, I've been there. I've been through all that, man. I used to come down here when I was a kid for summer vacation. My mother brought me down to my grandmother's house, and I would ride on. My uncle would be plowing on a mule. I would sit and ride on a mule while he's walking behind plowing. They had an outhouse, a pump with real water. I mean, good water coming out there, grape orchard, all kinds of stuff. I used to hate it when I was a kid come down. I'm like, man, I don't want to come down there. It's too country. No. And then my uncle would have us, there'd be a carnival in town. And he said, we're going to go get to the carnival. We have to pick these cucumber weeds first. And each row would have at least 20 miles each row. So you had to pick these. By the time we're done, the carnival left. So I said, man, it's slave labor. I told him, Mom, I ain't going down more in the summer. I'm not going down there, And I want to go somewhere and play, But I appreciate it now. Back in the day, my cousin sold the land he wasn't supposed to sell, so these other people moved in, and it's getting gentrified down here. Kind of a lot of people just sold the land. It was all my relatives. The church that my mother, great grandfather, and them had is still there, and all that. In the 1800s, it's a church here. It's not being used right now, but it's it's in good condition and all that. So I mean, it has. I could never move back to Philly. I mean, it's according where I couldn't live close to people like that anymore. I have 3 acres, and I'm not real close. Each neighbor on each side is like 200 yards on each side or something like that. And that's too close, But I couldn't live in a city. I don't think. It's according what city it is, Because I'm going to Belize soon. Actually, after I'm done this album, I'm going to Belize for like about 2 weeks, and ocean, mountains, that's my vibe. I love it there. So I'm going to get here and take a little vacation, get out the country and go to another country.
Yeah. I used to love going to New York back in the 80s and 90s, but I don't like going there. The last time I went to New York was in 2010, and I paid like $80 a day for my car to be parked there. I'm like, oh no.
No, man. If you go 4 blocks, you got to pay a toll now up there. They charge you toll. If you go from 96th Street to 86th Street or something, you got to pay a toll.
We used to go up there and stay in Jersey. Like if I go up there with 2 or 3, if we go up there 2 or 3 cars, we would leave one car we would leave the cars at the hotel in Jersey, which is the hotel was cheaper, and we just ride in the one vehicle over there. I remember when parking was $10 over there, like on 40-something Street, right near the water, where you could get there, but it was tight in there too. I mean, they might bump the car or whatever, but it was like $10 back in the day. So last time I went there, I stayed in a fancy hotel. This multimillionaire guy paid for me to go up there to promote his artist. And this guy had me in a fancy hotel. Like I said, the parking was $90 a night. Of course, I didn't have to pay it. He paid it, but I'm just saying the fact that it cost that much was just ridiculous to me.
Oh yeah, shit! I got towed 2 times in one day up there, man. It was insane. I'm like, it's enough of this. Then the car got stolen. I'm like, I'm out of New York. I was living up there. A lady friend at the time, she was a big makeup artist, and I said, "This is enough of this." And I still talk to my friends. I'm like, I guess they have muscle memory. I'm like, you got to move a car each day, each side of the street. If you're parking, you move it to this day. I'm like, man, that's too old for that, you know. I can park my car here. I can go to a store down here and leave my keys in the car. You know what I mean? It's not real country. I mean, it's like, suburby, but I can still do that. You know, my new car, I just lock it. But it's I like it down there, but I've been trying to move for 21 years, and I'm still here. So
yeah,
so
I stayed in the mountains for a while. And it was a type of situation where you could leave. We left the front door, the side door, and the back door open with like sliding glass door, going to the outside. We leave all 3 doors open 24 hours a day. Even if I left town and came back, if I left town for 3 days, guess what? The house was still wide open. Front door, side door. It's like, what happened to those days?
Yeah, those days are long gone, my friend. They're long gone. Well, look, I mean, man, we've been talking for 2 hours, almost 2 hours.
That's what I was getting ready to say, 2 hours.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me, though. We were honored
to have you. Anything I could do to help you, Virgil and Don, I'm happy to do anytime, of course.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate it big time. Thanks for the promotion. Thanks for asking me to come. I enjoy talking to you. And let's keep in touch anyway, whether it's on air or whatever, just keep in touch, Okay. And
all right. Well, we definitely appreciate you coming here. And once again, like I said, your Instagram is Jeff_Washington_music. So everybody that's listening to me now, listen to me later, go follow this man on Instagram. And in the video that you're going to see on this video here, if you go and look at the bottom, it says read more. You click on it, you're going to see his Instagram, you're going to see his Facebook, you're going to see his bio, you're going to see the email for contact, for booking, all that stuff. It's going to be at the bottom of this email in a couple hours. And even the email of the song that I put out, that I text y'all and put in the email earlier, just look at that email I sent you, and you'll see all this information that he got in there. And we're going to see what's going on. Now, I've only heard those 2 songs, so now I got to go listen to everything else. Because, like I said, that tribute to Jeff Beck just blew me away. When Don said, he was like, because I'm like, yeah, $2 bill, I like $2 bill. And Don said, check this song out. I'm like, oh, this is what I text Don back. OMG. Oh, my God. I was like blown away. Like I hadn't heard nothing that great in so long.
Oh man,
with no lyrics. Normally, if I'm listening to an instrumental, it's gonna be like a Isaac Brother instrumental. That's what I grew up on, right? So I'm listening, but to hear that, and it's not like, that it's like a jazzy, funky blues record like that. For me to even hit my brain so tough, I'm still just, I can't, I don't understand, but it really got to me. So I don't know.
Thank you, man.
I know I can say, like Evelina said, we felt you in that song. Like you put your energy in it, you put your heart and soul into it. We felt that meant something to you. That's what people got to understand. We felt that.
Yeah, I when I did it live, I used to have to take a second, after it's done, to even acknowledge or say something. If I get it, it's been some times where I got into really hard playing it and just got in the zone with it, and had to take a minute to recover. You dig? So, I mean, and that's a good thing for me because I don't, songs I write them, they're cool, but I don't get emotional like that, like Beck would, like I would do with Mr. Beck. I think that's the only one that I've written so far. I had another song called Lonely Days back in the day, ballad. That had a vibe because that was more personal to me, at that time. But I don't know where Mr. Beck came from. I don't know where it came from, the vibe, the melody. I have no idea. It just came to me.
So, music is the language. Like I said, if you look into my channel that I have in my Instagram, there's a little post that shows there that there's a certain condition that certain people have that are like really into music, especially musicians. And I think we're all one of those people because we can really feel the music, you know?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Very well put, my love. Yes.
Did you say that song affected Don as well? Don't you said earlier?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Don said he never heard nothing. He said, man, who's Mr. Beck? And I told him who it was. And he goes, wow, man. He says, man, he said, did something to him. It affected him. He has that same reaction that you have.
That's what I'm saying.
Know. And
there's something about that song has magic.
Yeah. I was hoping to try and get his widow to hear it. Still got to try and get it to her. I'm trying to get a hold of some of my friends in London to let her hear it. You know,
when I hear a song like that, the first thing in my mind is Grammys and all kind of stuff. It's like it affects you. Like I said, it had the same effect on me as "Dear Mama" by Tupac.
Okay, there you go. And it's timeless. I think the song is timeless. You know what I mean?
It definitely is.
Yeah. As blues is timeless, basically. Blues never gets old. I mean, you know, it's we're still listening to the masters. They're still doing their thing, and that mystique that they present. I still listen to it. I love hearing that. Man, that just closing my eyes and imagining sitting on that porch in Mississippi, man, the wind blowing, you playing the guitar. You know, I mean, that's just a vision I love. You know,
I live in Mississippi, so I get that. I totally get that.
You did.
Yeah.
I mean, did you see the movie Sinners?
I think I did.
Yeah. I'm trying to emulate that vibe, that old Clarksdale, Mississippi vibe. That's what I'm calling the album Juke Joint. To get that, that's what I did with $2 Bill, trying to make it juke. When I did the video, I wanted black and white, and it was shot in color, and I didn't like it. So I switched. The guy, good friend Chris Thor, shot it, and it was in color. And I got it, and I'm like, so I re-edited it and made it black and white and put more imagery in it, and to get that feel of the juke, you know.
Yeah.
So a lot of the album is going to be something similar to that. It might be a little dirty, a little funky too, you know. And there might be an instrumental on it. I can't tell you because I woke up in the morning and didn't know I was going to write Mr. Beck. No, I didn't. The night I went to bed, I woke up and I was going to write it. You know, it just came. So there'll be more days like that, you know. Hopefully.
Yeah. And for people on Facebook, his Facebook page is Jeff.Washington, the number 2. Jeff, AFF.Washington, the number 2 behind it. And like I said, Instagram, once again, is Jeff_Washington_music. Definitely follow this man on social media. Well, thank you for coming tonight. We appreciate you being here, especially spending 2 hours with us. But, you know, I almost feel like I've been knowing you for the whole 50 years that you've been in the game.
Well, we're family now. We're family now, you know. Yeah. And
because I've been dealing with Virgil and Don for 30 plus years. Like I said, I started getting heavy with Don in 1985 when Rockman and Night came out. You know, we did some Melba stuff too, but when Rockman and Night came out, they just really boom.
Right, you know? Right. Well, thanks to people like you, you're helping our music live, man. So I appreciate it, man.
Okay.
And I'll definitely is Don gonna be able to see this?
Yes. I'm gonna send it to him tonight.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And also, like I said, 2 weeks from tonight, we're going to do a listening party for Booster College. Maybe we'll do your listening party sometime in the future.
I would appreciate it. That would be great. I'll definitely remind me, and I'll try to chime in when you have the listening party for Bootsy.
Okay, no problem.
Definitely, man. And how's the weather in Cleveland?
It's been pretty good. It's like a couple weeks ago it was cold. I'm like, wait a minute. It's like 40, 50, all that, but today was like 83 and then down to 70 at night, 65 at night. It's been pretty good.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm in Florida.
And your football team, you won out of the day, so I guess you're happy with that.
Yeah, man, that's a shock. I mean, we don't expect them to win any games, but to beat somebody like the Packers, that's like big. That's almost like the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah. And I don't know why they're not using Shador. Just put him in. You know, I'm from Philly, so I'm an Eagle man. So you know, I'm
straight up go Birds.
Go on, girl. I know I loved you, baby. Go ahead now. Yeah, man. Yeah. But
you Philadelphia people get on my nerve.
I'm from Chicago. I just adopted Philadelphia. Okay.
Oh, did you? Oh, Chicago. I just love Chicago. I used to play at place Park West in Chicago. Is that still there?
I don't know, but I used to go to the House of Blues all the time. I was
Kingston Mines too. Kingston Mines and South Side.
Yeah.
Have you heard of Kingston Mines?
I think so, but I don't think I ever went.
Oh yeah, it's a great place. Very unique place. It's like it looks like you're going in a cavern or something, but it's all blues. You can smell the chicken as soon as you hit the door. You know, got these big sisters making this chicken. I'm like, oh, this is the spot. This is the spot to come. You know.
I need to pop in next time.
Yeah, definitely. Are you do you live in Chicago now?
No, I'm in the Philadelphia area at the moment.
You live in Philly? I didn't know that. Where do you live at in Philly?
Well, I pop in from Baltimore to Philly to Scranton. So
because I'm in Eastern Shore, Maryland. I'm like, cause I got to play in Philly Saturday. Are you gonna be in the Philly area Saturday?
Yes.
I'll give you a pass to come to the show if you want.
I'll be there.
At the Ardmore. Have you ever heard the Ardmore?
Yeah.
I'll be there at the Ardmore. Show start. Give me your info and I'll make sure I give you a pass.
Okay, I put some of my information in there, but I can always send it to you on Instagram too.
Yeah, or just text me. He has my number. Just text me.
Okay.
Okay.
Can you text me?
Go, Birds. Go on, girl.
Let's go.
I think I lost your number.
He's jealous now.
Yeah, look, I'm writing it on the screen right now. Wait a minute, do this.
He said no.
Can you? There is right there.
Okay.
Hearts.
All
Okay.
right. It's definitely been a fun.
I dropped my link in here too.
It's definitely been a fun 2 hours, but I get the information. It's definitely been a fun 2 hours. And
it's a good thing I didn't have any wine because we would never hang up.
Yeah.
We'd have to do like part 5 or something.
Yeah. We'll see you on the Boosie listening party. I get with you.
Yeah, definitely.
Thanks everybody for coming tonight, and everybody that's watching us on YouTube. Follow this man on social media. You're gonna enjoy it. I got to listen to the rest of the album. I only heard those 2 songs. $2
Cheers,
Bill
everybody.
And Mr.
Thank
Beck.
you for having me.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night, y'all. Peace.